Hello and welcome back to WK Media. It's been a while and I obviously owe you an update. So here we go. So the first of the update is I've changed the name of the channel from Omoyo Karaoke to WK Media, and the reason for this change is because we are now not traveling anymore. So the content that I was sharing there before the lockdown actually was basically to do with our travel and my experiences out there. And since COVID, I started sharing more of educational, informative content regarding briding. In this channel, I would like to continue now with content that is on safety, also on the motor industry, news, updates, new trends, things that are happening in the motor industry. That is what I would like now to focus on more. I also have a campaign running, I Ride for Helmets. This campaign is as a result of my experience when I came back in December and January. When I was back in the country at that time, I didn't have my motorcycle and I didn't have a car. So the first few days, I had a car from a friend, yes, but then after that I gave the car back. And then I used Uber for a couple of days, Uber cars for a couple of days, and wow, they were too expensive because every day I was making about 3 or 4 trips to some different places. So at that point, I decided now to take Uber Boda Boda. And when I started taking Uber Boda Boda is when I started having conversations with the Uber riders. Because I had my own helmet, that always used to start a conversation. I would book a ride and the rider would come and the first thing he would see is I have my own helmet, and he would go like, you have your own helmet, and the conversation would start from there. I enjoyed the conversations I had with the riders, and I decided that this is an industry that has been looked down on because of a few bad people, and there is no society, no community without a few bad people who make the larger community look bad. So it's understandable to also hear negative perception and negative feedback and negative information about the boda industry. But on the other side, I will be very honest with you and tell you frankly that there are really good people in the boda industry or society or community, people who care about themselves and care about the people they carry, people who care about their jobs and what they do, people who care about the industry. They're there. But because of a few bad ones, the society has looked down on them, and the society always views them as dangerous people who are out to cause accidents or out to cause havoc, always looked at negatively. The goal number one of my campaign is to increase the use of helmets among boda riders and their passengers. Because even if the boda rider has a helmet and the passenger doesn't have a helmet, we still have one person exposed. So I would love to see riders and passengers wear helmets all the time. That is my goal number one. Subsequently, during this education forums that we are going to hold and talk about safety on the road, we will cover other areas like traffic laws. We'll cover areas like licenses, training, things that boda really need to understand and be educated on. For example, majority of them do not have licenses because they never went to proper training schools where they would be able to get licenses from NTSA. How can we facilitate this and ensure that the riders have the right documents? Majority of them do not go for insurances. They have no insurance, and when they end up in an accident, the burden is left on their families. How can we help support them to know the right things to do and the channel to follow and see the importance of having the right, having everything right, having the license, having the insurance, and also paying for their NHIF, because some of them don't pay. They don't pay NHIF, and when they end up in hospital, again, the burden is left on the family. There's also a bigger burden on our health system, because when riders have crashed and they have no protective gear, it means that each one of them who gets into a crash has some injury of a sort. Whether it's a small cut or bruises, or serious accident with fractures and brain injury, each one of them without the right safety gear ends up having some sort of injuries, which means that they will end up in the hospital. Some of them are treated and discharged, some of them are kept for observation for just one night, but there are those who stay in hospital for a long time. And you know what this means? This means that a family has lost someone who brings income for their family. A family has now to bear the cost of medical support in a hospital, and many other things that come with that just injury. Worse still, if they lose that person or that person ends up on a wheelchair, the burden is there for a lifetime. So my goal is to educate the boda bodas and see them living a better life, improving the quality of their life, and being able to even sustain their businesses by doing the right thing. That is having the licenses, insuring their motorcycles, and always paying for their NHIF. And above all that, wear the right gear all the time. And the most important gear when you're riding is a helmet. Protect your head. Do not live your life on the road, on the tarmac. Many of those crashes that involve head injuries end up in that state. So I would love to see an increase in use and wearing of helmets as people ride, and I'm talking about riders and passengers. So that's the second update of what has been happening. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel. Share it with your friends, because now we have even much more information that is going to help a brother, a sister, a cousin, a friend, a neighbor, that person we care for, because we are a community. Share it with your friends and ask them to share more. Let's reach as many people as we can. I also have an Instagram account where I am doing the campaign. It's called I Ride for Helmets, and I'm putting it down here. So you can follow that Instagram as well. We are doing a helmet drive where we're collecting helmet donations. These are helmets that are being given to us to be able to pass them on to those riders and passengers who need them. We are collecting donations from people who have helmets they don't use, and these helmets are in good shape, meaning they're in good condition, they're accident free, and they're certified helmets. We are only taking helmets that will save a life. We don't want to take helmets and give helmets that will not save a life. So make sure you share this with as many people as possible and ask them to subscribe. Also keep it here, because there will be many other news that I'm going to bring you about the industry. I will bring you everything that is happening from sports, from dealers, new motorcycles, anything that is happening in the industry. And we are not only limiting it to motorcycles. We'll also go as far as covering cyclists, rallies, what happens in the car industry as well, not just motorcycles. So I'm looking forward to engaging with you more, and we will make this channel bring you news weekly. To start with, we probably have one video a week, but we are looking at having even 3 or 4 videos a week. Thank you so much for always supporting. Thank you so much for subscribing. And if it is your first time here, you've just discovered this channel, kindly don't leave without subscribing, and also share with your friends. Until the next video, it is bye for now.